I mean, if money wasn't an option, or if money was no object, I mean, Madonna.
Madonna, if you're watching right now, please adjust your schedule accordingly.
So, this episode features the full interview with Luke. Grab your popcorn, enjoy the show, and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. You're watching the Wits and Bustle show, and my name is Katya.
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Katya. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, thank you for chatting with us. How are you?
I'm very well. Winding down from Pride weekend. It was another excellent year. Very happy with how it turned out, and the best part is it didn't rain.
It was such a success. We had such a good time. It was amazing.
That's awesome to hear. No, we're getting very positive feedback from the last weekend, and we're already geared up for 2020.
About yourself, because you're suspiciously young to run a machine like that.
Yes, so I'm 25 years old. I'm the youngest executive director for Pride organization in the country. Been working with Safety Pride for the last 6 years in different capacities. Started as just a general volunteer and worked my way up through the organization, and this was my second season as executive director.
What is the most difficult part about your job?
I'd say people managing. There's a lot of different types of people, a lot of egos that want to make sure that they get what they want out of Pride weekend. And the processes for the most part of putting on a parade and festival are the same, but the people are always changing.
How do you manage to attract such big and fat sponsors for the event?
I mean, for the most part, they're pretty easy. We settle on a contract months in advance, and we know what they're expecting long before the event, so we have plenty of time to prepare to cater to their needs.
How does it work? Do they come to you or you come to them?
So for the most part, it's a little mixture of both. A lot of times they will come and be a part of like the parade one year, and then I'll reach out to them the next year and be like, hey, if you would like to be more involved this year, maybe we can do something more, or it's just a central cold call where I'll be like, okay, well, this is a big company in the area, maybe there's some sort of LGBT initiative that I hear about, or even like I meet some representative from an organization at a networking event, and then that spears an additional conversation.
And forgive me if that's too much, but I have to ask about Wells Fargo, because this company has been in the hot water for as long as we can remember.
Just a reminder, Wells Fargo still cannot wake up from the cascade of scandals that started in 2016 when the bank fired 5,000 workers over creating fake savings and checking accounts.
Something for a conservative company, that's a risky thing to support LGBTQ initiative.
No, what's interesting about Wells Fargo is they have been a partner of ours since pretty much the very beginning. And they're a company that's dedicated to inclusiveness within their organization, and to make sure that people are comfortable to be themselves, because that increases workplace productivity, that increases the betterment of LGBT society as a whole. And to have a company like that be one of our pillar sponsors, while they're not always perfect, their reasoning behind partnering with us has always been for the right reasons.
So what kind of reasoning could it be?
Yes, so there's definitely different reasons on why people partner with us. There are organizations that want to cater to the LGBT community from a marketing purpose and to bring LGBT people in to pay or to spend money there.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are organizations like Wells Fargo that would like to better their culture within their organization, and to make sure that the people who work for them feel included and can be themselves. There are so many examples of that. Tech Data is another excellent example who aren't a business to person. They're a business to business organization, so they don't cater to people. Um, they're an IT organization that helps with IT infrastructure for big business. Um, and then there are organizations, and these are the rare ones that come and want to be a part of our events, just to like better LGBT rights as a whole, and just be there for just for the good of the advancement. And so just those are pretty much the three main reasons. There are others, some smaller ancillary reasons that sometimes take place, but for the most part, that's it.
How do you distinguish, or do you distinguish between the pure desire to cash in and ride the wave and the genuine support?
Yeah, it's for the most part you know I don't really I think it's perfectly fine for sponsors to come in and say like, hey, we want to market to the LGBT community and make some money off of it. That's business. That is what it is, and that happens with every single pride organization in the country. But particularly our bigger sponsors, I do like to see some sort of commitment to the advancement, or the right reasons, the advancement of society as a whole, and to make sure that the organizations that are really representing our events are in it for the right reasons.
By the way, I'm going to speak to Tech Data shortly. So what should I ask them?
Just like the standard 5W questions. Why you wanted to partner with us. How you partnered with us. How did the deal take place? All that type of stuff. I think would be excellent questions. I don't know how much behind the scenes stuff they would be willing to discuss. For the most part, I don't like getting into that either, but I wouldn't ask anything financially or any sort of financial questions, but just like why you got into working with St. Pete Pride so closely, I think would be an excellent talking point, because they are one of, if not the most respected organization, one of the most respected organizations for LGBT rights in the workplace, certainly in the state of Florida.
Well, if we would like to make this conversation popular online and among my students, then I have to ask you, how much does it cost to have St. Pete Pride Parade renamed Tech Data Pride Parade?
I am not going to answer that. But,
well, give us the ballpark.
I am not going to answer that question. I'm going to decline to comment. I don't like getting in the financial specifics.
Say I'm a new enterprise. I'm only exploring ways to engage with the LGBTQ community. Maybe I have employees who identify themselves with that, or maybe I see some potential customers among gay people. What do I do? Where do I go? I'm a coffee shop, for example.
Yes. So the Human Rights Equality Index is a fantastic way to sort of have a checklist for a business of being like, hey, how does my organization stack up for LGBT rights in the workplace? That breaks down everything under the sun of like what is ways that you can help engage your organization and make sure that the rights for LGBT people are catered to. That first and foremost is what I would recommend. Equality Florida does workplace training and education workshops that you can sign up for, and they come over on site and train your employees and make sure that everybody is knowledgeable about LGBT terms, ways that you can help make sure that LGBT people are taken care of within your workplace as well.
So, okay, I have two options. I'm a coffee shop. There is Pride Month coming up. I only have very little money. I can either give money to a pride parade, or I can launch a monthly event where I will give free coffee and a safe space for a local human rights organization that supports LGBTQ community for their get-togethers. Which one would you go for?
I'd have to have more information. So if you had the choice between having an event every month or having the Pride or coming and being a part of our Pride Festival, I mean, it's hard to say. I'd probably just do the volume of doing an event once a month. Um, but just with small business rates for our organization being so low, I would I would hope that you could do both because we don't charge small businesses very much at all to be a part of our events and networking events with and helping fundraise for smaller human rights nonprofits are incredibly important as well.
How do you feel about literally everyone, from a restaurant to a printer, splashing the rainbow and everything during the Pride months?
I love it. To see so much support around the city is amazing because everybody recognizes rainbow and now trans flags throughout the community as a symbol for LGBT um, support. Now, it gets a little cliche when you see, rainbow flags and rainbow colors everywhere. And we're starting to see this more and more, especially from people who've done it for multi years of support. Um, More creative ways to show your support without necessarily having, everything being rainbow. Our logo for the most part throughout the year isn't rainbow. It is a teal color. It's bay teal. But during the month of June, we make it our logo rainbow.
Can you think of a company that did a particularly great job in making a statement during Pride month?
That made a great statement. Tech Data had fantastic branding. Channel 10 WTSP had a wonderful float design this year as well. Who else? Tech Data really went above and beyond with their float decorations this year, with bringing in two floats and decorating the heck out of them. I think they were one of the few, if the only organization that had any sort of branding this year revolving around the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, which you see now sparked the modern LGBT movement. The year after the riots happened was the year the first Pride Parade took place in New York City.
This takes us to another point, that the celebration, right? That's not Halloween, obviously. It's deeply rooted in resistance, and
Yeah.
that's something that people who call themselves allies and just attend the Pride Parade, sometimes they do not get that part. So, what can you tell marketers or maybe business owners about supporting LGBT community in general and attending Pride events in particular, in terms of respect and positioning and messaging?
Yeah, I mean, always be respectful. Educate yourself on the different topics and events that are not just going on currently but the major events that have taken place over the last 50 years. There's an alarming number of people that still don't even know what the Stonewall riots are, and so just to be able to educate yourself and know, about the AIDS crisis in the 80s and the Stonewall riots and the year marriage equality was passed. This is the third anniversary of marriage equality today. And so, just knowing these significant events can potentially help an organization brand in a very creative and non-traditional way.
And finally, your dream partner for the next Pride event.
Dream partner. Man, I've always wanted an airline, and we've never gotten one before. I've been talking to Delta quite a bit, and nothing's been solidified in a major way. But I've always wanted to get an airline, and I think that would be near the top of my list.
Well, we'll make sure to reach out to Delta for comments. What about a company that you would never accept, even if they bring you tons of money in cash?
I don't know if there would ever be a no. It just would depend on the messaging that organization wanted to exude, and what was the just the rationale behind it matters greatly. So, Chick-fil-A ever came in, and that's the one that comes off right off the top of my head is like, well, what if Chick-fil-A wanted to participate? What is the rationale behind it? Are you changing as an organization? Are you really wanting to make a commitment to the LGBT community, and it just would really depend on that. Tobacco companies as well. We had an at-length discussion about that this year, and I don't. That's a tough one because um, it's just bad for your health, and I don't know if Pride would be an appropriate place to be marketing for a tobacco company.
What about Absolut vodka that made quite a splash and quite a statement? Not too great for you either. Oh, a little bit worse than kombucha.
No, Absolut. They're an interesting organization. So Absolut has been a partner of the LGBT community since the '80s, long before it was politically acceptable. Absolut. I mean, uh, one of the biggest things about Pride is going out with your friends and having a good time, um, and drinking has always been a part of that. And Absolute has been a fantastic partner over the years, both from an LGBT perspective and just a St. Pete Pride partnership perspective as well.
I don't know if you probably know that Absolut partnered with GLAAD on a series of these beautiful photographs to commemorate Stonewall riots, and they commissioned world's best photographers to reflect on that. So
Proud to say that they're a partner of ours, and God, they do so much, and this year they really stepped their game up.
Luke, is there anything that you would like public relations students, public relations professionals, people who love public relations to know before we conclude for today?
And I said this before when I came and spoke to your class, like, find something that you love to do, work really hard at it, and just continue to do your best, because half the process and the struggle is just trying, and you find something you like to do, it makes being an adult and going to work every day a lot easier.
Oh, another question. Opinion leaders and influencers. Who is the top influencer? I know LGBT community has many segments, of course, right? But who is the absolute top influencer?
The absolute top influencer in the LGBT community? Oh my gosh, right now, I mean, there's so many. I would say Billy Porter right now is a very hot name. He has done so much right now. He's a very mainstream actor. Thinking more traditional, RuPaul is RuPaul. If you can get her name on anything, that's fantastic. Um, Pete Buttigieg is has a very hot name right now, and certainly a very mainstream influencer. Um, Todrick Hall, very popular right now. He's starting the opening ceremony of World Pride here this week.
Guys, this was the Wits and Bustle Show. My name is Katya Komarova. We talk about all things at the intersection of business, public relations, and social trends. Please let me know what kind of topics you would like me to cover next. Use the comment section below.
Who would you like to headline St. Pete Parade 2020?
Oh my goodness. I mean, if money wasn't an option, or if money was no object, I mean, Madonna, Lady Gaga would be fantastic. Somebody that has been, a big supporter for the LGBT community for years. Cher would be fantastic, but we don't have a stadium big enough to fit all the people that would come to see to see some of them.
Oh, Madonna and Cher are great fans of my YouTube channel. So, Madonna, if you're watching right now, please adjust your schedule accordingly. Luke and I, we cannot wait to see you in St. Petersburg, Florida next year.
Yeah.
And bring the daughter too.
Oh goodness, absolutely. Hi, Madonna.
Look, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. And again, thank you for such a fantastic weekend that we all enjoyed.
No problem, Katya. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, and hit that subscribe button.